June 20, 2022. Around 11 a.m. on the Spanish island of Mallorca, a Bugatti Veyron crashed into a villa's stone wall at high speed. The vehicle? Cristiano Ronaldo's €2 million Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse. At first, everyone assumed the same thing. Was Ronaldo involved in the crash? But the first security camera footage from the scene revealed the truth. It wasn't Ronaldo behind the wheel, it was his bodyguard. At the time of the crash, Ronaldo was in another car with his family and had no physical involvement in the incident. Yet, the impact of the event didn't stop with the crash itself. This accident reignited discussions about how luxury cars aren't always safe and how speed brings great responsibility. The identity of the bodyguard, why he was driving, and how he seemingly vanished after the crash raised even more questions. The front end of the Bugatti was completely destroyed. Footage from the scene quickly spread across social media. Ronaldo's Bugatti crashed into a wall was trending all day. But no one questioned the silence behind the scenes. Neither Ronaldo, his club, nor Bugatti made any detailed public statement. Do you think a celebrity should be held responsible for an accident, even if they weren't directly involved? Morning of the crash. Date, June 20th, 2022. Location, Mallorca, Spain. Time, around 11 a.m. CCTV footage from a luxury neighborhood shows a blue Bugatti Veyron speeding into a turn. Suddenly, the driver loses control. The car crashes into a stone wall. Initially, everyone assumes Ronaldo is behind the wheel. But when the police arrive and open the door, there's a major surprise. Cristiano Ronaldo is not driving the car. The person behind the wheel is one of Ronaldo's private chauffeurs. What's more, the driver wasn't properly trained to operate a hypercar like the Bugatti. At the time of the crash, Ronaldo was reportedly elsewhere with his children in a different car. The media explodes with the story. Headlines like, "Ronaldo's Bugatti crashes," spread worldwide within hours. But what truly grabs attention is this. Ronaldo and his team remain silent. 2 days of complete silence. No statement on social media, no words from his management. Why? Because behind the scenes, a deeper crisis management strategy is unfolding. The Bugatti is one of the most expensive vehicles in Ronaldo's collection, valued at around €2 million. It's a major symbol for his brand image. And here's the real issue. This particular car was custom delivered to Ronaldo as a VIP face of the brand. News of the crash could damage the image of the car's luxury and safety reputation. So Ronaldo's PR team gets to work. First, a legal motion is filed to block the release of CCTV footage. A formal request is sent to censor and prevent public sharing of the video. Then the driver is reminded of a strict non-disclosure agreement. Spanish journalists who posted about the crash receive legal notices. But the efforts aren't enough. The footage leaks. Social media explodes. People start questioning Ronaldo's silence. And this leads to a crucial question. No matter how expensive the car is, does it really matter who was driving it? Ronaldo's silence didn't just divide his fans, it also split the media world in two. Some said, it's a personal matter. He doesn't have to speak. Others insisted, global stars have a duty to be transparent. But the silence echoed louder than anyone expected. Just days after the crash, a new hashtag began trending on social media. #BugattiGate. Some users called it the untouchable luxury scandal. If an ordinary person had crashed, their identity would be exposed, legal action would follow. But even though Ronaldo wasn't driving, the car's ownership seemed enough to sweep details under the rug. The local municipality demanded €12,000 for repairing the damaged wall. But the homeowner gave a different account. I didn't sue. They directly gave me €25,000. That statement fueled rumors of hush money. A few journalists reached out to witnesses near the crash site. Most refused to speak. Some only said, Ronaldo's people came, asked for the footage, and offered money. These claims couldn't be confirmed, but the silence surrounding the event became the louder story. Meanwhile, YouTube creators began digging deeper, turning it into investigative content. In videos with hundreds of thousands of views, key questions emerged. Can money buy silence after every crash? Do luxury cars protect justice, or just the wealthy? On Bugatti's side, an interesting move followed. Exactly 2 weeks after the incident, they released a short press statement. As with all our clients, Ronaldo's safety is a top priority. We are not commenting on the incident. Clearly, the brand was choosing silence too, but to many, this was like pouring fuel on the fire. One Spanish TV show host summed it up powerfully. This isn't just about a crash, it's about a system where silence can be bought. All of this reminds us of a harsh truth. Silence isn't always a strategy. Sometimes it's a price to pay. On the day of the crash, initial reports confirmed that Cristiano Ronaldo was not behind the wheel. Local authorities verified the crash but refused to release the driver's identity, citing privacy concerns. This sparked a new wave of speculation. So, who was the person in the car? Spanish media first claimed that the driver was a house staff member. Later, eyewitnesses described the person exiting the car as a young man wearing a black t-shirt, looking extremely nervous. A few days later, a UK-based outlet reported that the man was Ronaldo's longtime personal chauffeur. His name was revealed for the first time, Sergio L. Very little was known about Sergio. He had no visible presence on social media. But interestingly, Ronaldo had often been seen traveling with this man across various cities. So why was Sergio driving the Bugatti that day? To sources, Ronaldo had left for a family trip the day before the crash. The Bugatti was parked at his Mallorca villa. Sergio was supposed to move the car to another location. But here's the critical detail. Sergio did not have certified training to operate such a vehicle, because hypercars like the Bugatti Chiron aren't driven with brute force. They require expertise. Their control systems are sensitive and complex. Braking, turbo response, and steering precision are vastly different from regular vehicles. In short, there's zero room for error. And perhaps that day's crash wasn't just a mistake, but a systemic oversight. The brand itself recommends that only specially trained drivers operate their vehicles, but that guidance clearly wasn't enforced here. Moreover, Sergio has never commented publicly on the incident. His phone remained off. He avoided the press entirely. Only weeks later, a source close to Ronaldo's team confirmed Sergio no longer works with Ronaldo. That statement raised even more questions. Did the crash cause this separation, or was it already planned? And the biggest question of all, if Ronaldo had been behind the wheel, would the media have stayed this silent? News about car crashes usually spreads like wildfire, especially when it involves a global icon. A headline like, Cristiano Ronaldo's Bugatti crashes into a wall, would typically trend within hours worldwide. But something unusual happened with this incident. Mainstream media remained silent. There were very few social media posts. Footage of the crash was nearly non-existent. Why? A supercar belonging to one of the world's biggest celebrities crashes, and the media ignores it? This is where PR strategy comes into play. Because sometimes, image is valued more than the truth. Ronaldo's management team sent out a media advisory just 2 hours after the crash, stating, "No comment." A press blackout was enforced. The crash was labeled a private family matter. Sharing footage was threatened with legal consequences. But here's the real twist. The neighborhood where the crash happened had dozens of homes with security cameras. Yet not a single video ever surfaced online. Why? Because the crash took place in a private, ultra-wealthy residential zone. Most villas in the area used the same private security provider. That company had a strict footage policy. No footage is released unless the homeowner approves. This allowed Ronaldo's team to virtually block all visual evidence from spreading. Weeks passed. Still, Ronaldo made no public statement. Bugatti issued no comment. Only a handful of niche blogs and car enthusiast pages reported on it. But why is this silence so significant? Because when the media stays quiet, the impact of the event fades. If no one asks questions, the scandal disappears. If the same crash had involved an ordinary person, Headlines would scream, "Million-dollar car destroyed in reckless crash." But since it involved Ronaldo, the news vanished. The incident was normalized. Which leads us to these questions. Do celebrities live by different rules?
This wasn't just a crash.
It was a reflection of how the system works when power and fame are involved. The real question isn't just who caused the crash, but rather, why was no one held accountable? Ronaldo wasn't driving the car. It was driven by a security guard. The guard used it without informing anyone. While attempting to park, he hit a wall. Technically, Ronaldo wasn't guilty. But does that mean he held no responsibility? Cars like the Bugatti Chiron are not for just anyone. They require training, sharp reflexes, and immense focus. Was the person behind the wheel qualified to drive such a machine? After the crash, the car was sent for repairs, but the damage report was never made public. Which parts failed? Did the brakes function properly? Did the airbags deploy? None of these questions were ever answered officially. Furthermore, the car was quickly moved to another country. Video footage was deleted. No legal action was taken against the driver. Why does this matter? Because it shows something deeper. If you're famous enough, the system can bend around you. But that bends society's sense of justice as well. Every day, regular people are involved in crashes, and they are held accountable. But in this case, no one was. True safety isn't just about airbags or brakes. It's about fair rules and equal responsibility. In this incident, the driver stayed silent. The brand stayed silent. The media stayed silent. And in the end, only one thing really got damaged: Ronaldo's image. Maybe the car was fixed. Maybe people forgot. But one truth remains. Some crashes don't just break cars, they shatter trust.